Hey everybody, my name is Buzz. They call me Wannabe. I have 3 different videos right now in different levels of production, some more intricate videos. And because I haven't put anything out in over a week, I figure I'll just throw something together real quick. Answered a email and it said, hey Buzz, give me a video of your most overrated guitarists. Well, this video is going to be a little bit preachy and maybe kind of an old person's view of the world. So feel free to unsubscribe or dislike the video, whatever. First of all, I asked and I said, why the most overrated guitarist? And they said, well, yeah, it's something that's going to get a lot of views and it's going to get a lot of comments, and you know, it's really a hot topic. And I thought, I don't really like that idea, that it's a hot topic or that controversy brings views or brings attention. That's really not my thing. So I'm going to start by saying there's no such thing as an overrated guitarist. There is music. Music is not an Olympic sport. There's not a bar this high and say who can clear it. There's not a weighted object you put in your hand and how far you can throw it. It's not that. It's music. Music is a different language. It is a foreign language. And some people speak it fluently with lots of words, and some people can say what they need to say in almost no words. And it's not a contest. It's what works with you. So let me say it this way. Just because somebody's fast doesn't make them better than another guitarist. Let's think of it this way. The movie Shawshank Redemption would not have been as good if Fran Drescher or Bobcat Goldthwait were the narrators. It would have not been better if somebody was narrating who is a auctioneer that can talk 1,000,000 miles an hour. It's an art thing. That voice made that movie in a lot of ways. When you want to hear, Darth Vader's voice made that in a lot of ways. And when we look at it from an art perspective, art either touches the person or it doesn't. You look at a picture, you look at the Mona Lisa and you go, I don't get it, man. Some people look at the Mona Lisa and go, oh, that changed the world. Look at that. We never did paintings of someone smiling. Or you look at something, a Van Gogh, Starry, Starry Night, and you go, I don't know, I don't get it. And then somebody's going to say, wow, this changed the world. You look at a Boy Blue, that type of thing. So for some reason in guitar world, we think, wow, because you're faster, you're better. All the speed in the world can't create a David Gilmour solo. And in my opinion, even better than the solo for Comfortably Numb is the first solo in Wish You Were Here. Listening to that, just the way he hits those notes and the way everything happens on that acoustic guitar, it's not fast, it's not flashy, it works perfect for the song, but it's almost unreachable in every way he hits those notes. There's something special there, there's something magic there. So that's going to be an asterisk here before we start. Just because Angel Vivaldi can master every single item on the guitar and every different kind of technique doesn't mean that he makes better music than this person or that person. Now, I happen to love Angel, and I happen to love his compositions and his writing, because I think that's more important a lot of times than being able to play in the Dorian mode at 1,000,000 miles an hour. He can do that too, but the guy can compose, he can write, he can create a great song, which is what I think is way more important than being able to play some of the techniques. Now, I hate to say Andy James, but that guy's technique is out of this world, and listening to him sometimes sounds like somebody's, to me, sounds like somebody's playing scales in their bedroom really fast. It starts to get a little, okay, man, you've mastered that and you're amazing and you're way better than anybody I've ever met. But it just doesn't sing to me as music. I would rather listen to, or however it goes. So yeah, let's start with that and go from there, because again, not an Olympic sport. It's not how fast you can run. It's not how far you can throw an object, or it's not how many points you can score on the other team. Now, there are certain techniques I'm trying to learn, and because Paul Gilbert's got them nailed, I sit there and go, man, Paul Gilbert is like a deity, or Andy Timmons has this sound, and there are those, and they just reach me on a level that makes me go, wow, I really appreciate that person. So, I think there are people out there that I'm not as much a fan of, probably because they don't play the way I want to play. George Lynch plays the way I wish I could play, so I look up to George Lynch or John Petrucci or, John Five or these kinds of people. So I'm going to start by saying the one thing that really bothers me is when they tell me that somebody is a great guitarist that writes songs on a guitar. When you see that Taylor Swift is listed as one of the best guitarists in the world, you go, no. Just because you have a guitar in your hand and you know a couple of chords and you write good songs, and I don't care if it's Taylor Swift or, some folk singer from the 50s, 60s, 70s, it doesn't matter. Just because you have a guitar and you've written some great songs does not mean you're a good guitarist. It means you're a great musician, a great songwriter. You might be in the top 10 songwriters of all times. I talked a little bit about this in my when Rolling Stone did their 100 greatest guitarists. But so there's the end of that spiel. So I'm going to tell you about the bands or the players that I never got into. And part of the reason I got into them, we're going to start by saying the Beatles. I know all of my heroes say the Beatles are everything. But I was too young to see the Beatles in their heyday. I was too young to open a new Beatles album and go, oh, what did they do now? By the time I heard the Beatles, I got a Christmas song saying, simply having a wonderful Christmas time, simply. And I went, what is that? Why is that on the radio? Oh, because that's a Beatle. It's like sacred. I'm going, no, it's a terrible song. It's awfully written. It's like a children's nursery rhyme. Oh, no, you don't get it. That's a Beatle. We have to So I missed the whole Beatles thing, but all of my heroes say the Beatles were everything. So I'm going to say I don't understand it and I don't appreciate it because I missed the wave. I missed the Beatles wave. I did not see them on the Ed Sullivan Show. I know that Billy Joel was a boxer and was going to go on to a boxing career and saw them play on the Ed Sullivan Show and says, I want to be in music. Forget boxing. And, Steve Lukather says, I'm done. That's what I got to do with my life. So those people that I enjoy were very influenced by the Beatles, but I missed the wave, so I didn't get it. Another one I missed, and a guitarist that I just don't understand, is Aerosmith and Joe Perry. I used to really love a couple of Aerosmith songs, and they overplayed them to death, and now I hear it on the radio and I just turn the channel. I never understood his playing. I used to love a couple of those songs, and now it's kind of like, to me, Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction. Like when it came out, oh man, I was the biggest Guns N' Roses fan. And they overplayed those songs so much that now when I hear Guns N' Roses, a lot of times I'll just turn it because I'm like, I can't hear this song one more time. So yeah, Aerosmith and Joe Perry. Number 3, let's think, what would number 3 be? How about another wave I missed? So I was in Scotland and did not listen to music for 2 years because I was a missionary. I missed the whole grunge wave. I missed everything from 91 to end of 93. So like when I came back, everybody's going, oh, you got to listen to this Nirvana. Oh, it moves you. And I just listened to it and went, I don't get it. Like, I really don't get it. So I missed the whole Nirvana wave. I don't understand the things that people say about Kurt Cobain, how great he was or how great his playing was or how great his tone was. I just didn't get it. Not because he's a terrible guitarist, just because it didn't do anything for me. And when I hear I have never in my life wanted to listen to a Nirvana song all the way through. I usually get to the end of the first chorus and go, stop, and I turn it off. Now, a couple of times I've had to listen to the whole song, but just didn't get it. Okay, here's one I should have got, but didn't. I did. Okay, so this one's a little weird. Def Leppard. I really liked the first Def Leppard album. And, it was gritty. It was raw. It was all the things that I really looked for. And I thought, this band is going to be extraordinary. When their second album and their third album come out, these guys, their writing is a little bit simple, but man, they're going to be something. And then they caught on to that train of, we wrote a real big hit. Let's write it again. Hey, on this album, let's do exactly what we did on the last album, and we'll sell more albums. And oh my gosh, I did not ride that wave. That wave made me sick. So I went from being a very big Def Leppard fan to I cannot stand to hear that on the radio. Everything became very digital sounding. Everything became very, hey, we're trying to write a song that somebody can dance on a pole to. We're writing to make money, not writing for art. And that, especially right then when so many good bands were coming out and so much good stuff was going on, like Def Leppard just lost me. And I know a lot of people love it, and they've sold a ton of albums, and good for you. It didn't work for me. Then the last one we're going to talk about, because I could talk about bands that people love that I never quite got. Led Zeppelin. I really like some of the Led Zeppelin stuff, but I'm not religious about the Led Zeppelin stuff. I really liked Bonham as a drummer. I really liked the groove. I really liked a lot of what they did, and I absolutely adore John Paul Jones and all the stuff he did. I think, in my opinion, he was the member of the band that worked for me. But again, I miss the wave. I miss those albums. I miss getting the new one and going, oh, look what they did on this one. I kind of miss that. Jimmy Page got that sloppy groove thing going. That's great, and I know a lot of people just adore it, but just kind of never worked with me. A lot of those other things that were going on in those songs is really what intrigued me about Led Zeppelin. So I guess I'm a John Paul Jones Led Zeppelin fan, not a Jimmy Page Led Zeppelin fan. Does that make any sense? Probably not. So the last one we're going to talk about, and this is where I'm going to get super preachy, is Poison. I never got Poison. Poison came out and they were just way too glam, way too bubblegum, way too write what the record company told us to write because they need to sell albums. It just never made any sense to me. And I never really liked CeCe DeVille. And frankly, I would go out in my high school and college days and go, CeCe DeVille sucks. CeCe DeVille sucks. I knew the solos. I could sit there and play the solos of his, and I just say he sucks. Somewhere in there, I got in my mind where I needed to be a happy person, and to be a happy person, and to be a positive person, and to be a person that can go into the world and make the world a better place. I realized saying this guy sucks, or this girl sucks, or this band sucks isn't the way to do it. And the way to do it is to say, and be able to say in an argument, go, you know what? Never got it. Just a little too bubblegum for me. I get it. They sold a lot of albums, great. Just a little too bubblegum for me. But be able to say something positive. So I will say something positive right now about CeCe. CeCe didn't shred the fretboard. He didn't have all the technical aspects. But when he played for the song. And when he played a fill, it fit for the song. And when he played for that solo, it fit for the song. It didn't really require a Racer X kind of a solo. He played what he played, and it worked. Now, the weird thing about Poison is I was such an anti-Poison person. When Richie Cogston got in and started playing with Poison, I at first was like, no, can't do it. And then I heard a couple of the tunes and went, ooh, okay, I got to buy this album. And so I had it on CD and I listened to it. And then when Blues Saraceno joined Poison, I'm like, okay, I love this band. I love what they're doing. I love the blues based. I love, and Blues is certainly a more technical guitarist than CC. And I think that appealed to me a little bit, but I think the songs were better. The music was better. It was art. It wasn't, hey, our record company's saying this and we're going to put out a $2 million video and we're going to, get in all of our spandex and stuff. It was about the art. It was about the music. So when I say I didn't like Poison because they didn't really work with me, later Poison did work with me. Obviously the Ritchie stuff and certainly the blues stuff. I don't even know if most people know about the album that Blues did, or I guess it was a 2 album where he did most of the first half, or however that works. Some great guitar work and some great stuff. So if you want to be a more positive person, because Alexander the Great, I think it was Alexander the Great, said, be the kind of person that all the people around you want to be your friend and all of your enemies fear. And so the first part of that is to be a person that isn't negative about everything, because I think criticism is going to ruin our world. I think that's all we have right now for a lot of things and a lot of people is criticism. Like politics. They can't say, I have a better idea. Look at this. They go, no, that person's bad. That person's evil. That person's a Nazi. That person, da, da, da. They find fault with everybody on the other side, thinking that's going to make them better. You watch it in relationships. I'm going to put my wife down or my girlfriend down or my husband down, and that's going to elevate me. No. When you take somebody on your team down, it takes everybody down. Stop the criticism. Figure out a way in your brain and your heart to be able to say, you know what, Poison doesn't suck. They did their kind of music and people loved it and people sang. More people probably picked up a guitar and wanted to learn I Want Action Tonight on the guitar because CC and his playing. So he inspired people. Say something positive, think something positive, and it's okay in an argument to go, man, I never got them. I just didn't understand. Oh, they're the great. Okay, maybe they're the greatest. Back to the Beatles thing. I get people to say, no, you don't understand. The Beatles shaped rock and roll. Okay, that's fine. I never got it. I missed the wave. If you can do that, you're going to find that more people around you want to be around you. They don't want to find a way out. If you can be more positive. So a very wise person said, if you don't say 3 positive things for every negative thing you say in a relationship, and this is any relationship, this is business, this is co-worker stuff, this is with your managers or the people you manage, or with relationships, romantic relationships, friendships. If you don't say 3 positive things for every negative thing, that relationship will fail. And the older I get, the more I see it. And the more I see super negative people, I want to kick them out of my life. Now, I live in my own home away from everybody, and I don't have anybody to even focus my cameras. That's why my videos are always out of focus. Why? Because I do my own thing. I live my own life. I go days and days without seeing another human, partly because I just don't want the negativity. I don't watch the news. I don't watch politics because they don't have anything positive to say. So let's recap. I don't really have overrated guitarists. There are people that write songs on a guitar that are not good guitar players, that people consider good guitar players because they're confused. Okay, that's fine. If you want to say Taylor Swift is overrated by somebody saying she's the top 20 guitarist of all times, you're right. She's not one of the top 20 guitarists. But she writes good songs that people buy on a guitar, so she is a musician, guitarist of sorts. But that's my video. That's my wrap-up. Yeah. Feel free to unsubscribe, and maybe that'll help me with my decision whether I should keep going and doing videos on YouTube or not. Hey, thanks very much. We'll catch you later. Keep on rocking.